Hello guys. So what you see in front of you is the most significant page which I feel of this book which I'm going to review today, which is none other than Captain America Winter Soldier, right? As I'm sure all of you guys will be aware of this, which became a very popular film. I think one of the best movies that come out of the Marvel franchise. So this is the book we are going to review today, Captain America Winter Soldier Ultimate Collection by Ed Brubaker. Okay, I've read this book. I read it a couple of times. It's a pretty complex book. The story is a bit jumping back and forth, which is very entertaining. That it goes back to the World War and the relationship that Cap has with Bucky, the relationship that Cap is currently having with Sharon, with Nick Fury. So bunch of intricate relationships are portrayed very beautifully by Ed Brubaker in this book. He's obviously one of the Eisner-Windling writer, and if you go and see what is the content, it collects Captain America 1 to 9 and 11 to 14. The reason why number 10 is not here is because that was a side story which was more on the House of M than this Winter Soldier story. That's why it's omitted. And written by Ed Brubaker, illustrated by Steve Epting, Mike Perkins, Michael Lark and John Paul Leon, right? And you could also see Namor and I forgot his name, one of the Fantastic, looks like one of the Fantastic Four guys, but these guys are also here. And so this goes way beyond the current timeline. It takes you through a history of over 50 years where for many, like similar to Captain America, Bucky was believed to be dead, right? Out of Time is one of the favorite story arcs there. It collects 2 volumes which were separately published, and then it was published together in this ultimate collection, which is brilliant. It gives you the whole story completely, and you will start seeing a familiar character immediately, which is the Red Skull, the most famous villain of Captain America. And you will also see General Lukin, and he forms the main culprit in the entire story, and which the plot clears up very fast, right? So they're all after the Cosmic Cube, which is also something which you guys would know, the one which is shown here from which Loki is also after. So the storyline is not the same as the movies, guys, so don't think it's the same. There are a lot of changes, but it does bring out a lot of interesting stuff which the movie also had. Bucky is also a very famous, I think one of the most famous sidekick characters of the Marvel universe, maybe like a Robin in Batman universe. And he was also created at the same time around Captain America by Joe Simon and of course our famous Jack Kirby, right? The book has it's a big book. It's over 300 pages, the book, and it sees a lot of action. I love the dark, grim outlook with which it's shown, because the story has a lot of such elements in it. And one of the first key pivotal moments happens immediately, where you find Red Skull dead in the beginning of the first issue itself, right? So so now the question begs, like, who has killed him, right? I love this black and white portrayal where they go back and show what happened long back when the wars were being fought. And it's also very interesting to note the way Captain America has different very shrouded memories of those days. He's not very clearly able to think through on what exactly happened at those times. And then you have a lot of slam dunk action, fast paced action, because whoever has stolen the cosmic cube from the Red Skull is out to destroy some of the major cities and create a war, and that is none other than General Lukin, right? And also who is obviously manipulating the Winter Soldier. The manipulation of Winter Soldier, you could clearly get it because it's in the movies as well. It's a similar sort. The KGB, they rescues or they find the body of Bucky, and then I love the way they portrayed Hitler here in front of the Paris monument, right? I love the cover arts also, it's brilliant. This has almost like 15 volumes in it, so it has all the cover arts as well as captured well, right? This guy is called Crossbones. He comes in face to face with Cap more than once, and then it goes to the story, right? What actually happened, and Captain America going to all those places where the old wars were fought, what happened during that time, trying to recollect, get the memory of who this assassin is, and if it's truly his old friend, right? That's the centerpiece of this story, right? I'm just taking you through some pages, showing you some artwork, so that if you guys do manage to pick it up, you know what's in it for you. There's a side story of Jack Monroe. I'm not going into too much details of who he is and how he becomes a bit pivotal to the storyline in between. We can ignore that. But finally, Captain America comes face to face with the Winter Soldier, right? And that's when he notices that the shade of Bucky in him, although he was not 100% sure, right? That's the splash page here. I like the way they played with the crimson red, black, and very, very shaded gray colors in this two-page spread. Right, and it goes to a certain point where even General Lukin is not able to handle the cube on his own, and he finally plans to dispose it, and he gives it to the Winter Soldier to dispose it, and that sets up the final encounter between Cap. And I love these pages where they go through the file history of Bucky, saying that like what happened to him, how was he recruited, and how he was used on and off, and after his use as an assassin, how he was put back into the cryogenic chamber, and which is the reason why he's still so young, right? You could see that clearly in this panel here, right, where he's kept in that cryogenic chamber. So it's a sad story. I mean, part of it, because I mean, Out of Time is not the. I think it's a brilliant way in which a superhero like Captain America has been crafted out of it. But yeah, not going into the final elements too much, because you guys know what happens in the movie, and it sort of follows a similar fashion. There is a twist at the end, and somebody whom we thought is long gone comes back, but I'm not going to reveal that to you guys now. But yeah, so it's a brilliant story. It's one of the best that has come out of the Marvel house of books, and obviously handled by Ed Brubaker, it became one of the most popular story of that time. So there's also a guest featuring Iron Man and Falcon, not too much, but just a little bit. I love this cover as well, the last cover of number 14, when there is a final, they come face to face. And yeah, so that's where we end the story. Obviously there's a fight between both of them, Cap trying to hold back so that he could save Bucky, right? And finally it took the cosmic cube itself to get Bucky to shake off his memories and get him back to the reality, right? And that's shown here in this 2-page spread when all his memories come flooding back. Right, so that's where we leave. We leave with Bucky going back, but now having a lot of memories with him. So it sets the way for what are the next thing. In the movies, it paved the way for Civil War, which is another brilliant book. I love this this single page, which is like a promotional art just done. And then we have a few cover art, few sketches for Bucky, and all that stuff. So I would leave you guys with this image, right? I really enjoyed this image of both of them and the Red Skull. So that's it, guys. That's my quick snapshot of Captain America: The Winter Soldier. A must pick if you are a Captain America fan, and a brilliant story to go boot with it. So thanks for watching. Bye bye.